So you probably know this as a Honda Monkey 125. This one's a 2023 model, and I've had it since April of that year. I've just tripped over a special milestone today. $10K. So I've done 10,000 miles on it, which is roughly halfway around the globe. But I've just kept it local, really. As you can probably tell, I do take it a bit on the byways and green lanes. I also have been to the ABR 3 times on it now. It's a lovely little bike. I downsized from a 900 Ninja ZX9R. That was a 2000 model. It was the first year with the twin headlights. I've actually brought it up here before as well and taken pictures of it on this byway before, but that went the day after I got this. So the mods I've done on it are these grippy foot pegs, which you really need if you go off road, or if you ride in the wet. You might get away with just water, but that's going to come out on the video, isn't it? Yeah, your foot can really slip off those rubber pegs if you've got the slightest bit of mud on your shoes. So I would recommend these, but they're not really good at prolonging the sole of your boots, I'd imagine, because they're so grippy. You'd imagine they will wear out the bottom of your shoes quite quickly. Yeah. What else have I done? Oh yeah, screen. I got this from an auto jumble. Don't know what bike it was from, but it was obviously a bigger one than this. I find it quite comical, the size of it on this bike. So I also like it because it's a bit retro. It's made by Polywell, and the one I saw on the internet like this didn't have this trim around. I think this is car door trim that somebody's put on it, but I quite like it, so it's staying on. And the other thing is the toast rack. Everyone puts a rack on the Monkey to make it a bit more practical, but this one is probably the most impractical rack you can buy, because you've only got a small bit of surface area, like that square, whereas any other one would have this much surface area. So I love this one for looks. I think it really goes well with the chrome, and that would go even better if I didn't have that lobster tail thing on the back. But I do like the look of it, but it does help anyway, because normally I use oversized rucksacks and it just sits on there and takes the weight. Any other mods? Oh yeah, heated grips. I've kind of ruined the look of that. That's a long story. Oh, and also a different horn on it, but yeah, I've done 10,000 miles now and I love the bike. It's I was getting a bit bored of biking, to be honest, with the old Ninja, and the pain of having to get it out and whatnot. Plus you're limited to just the roads, but with this you can go on road and off road. It's not the best off-road bike, obviously, and I've still got the stock tyres, which in my opinion aren't too bad on the road, and they're not too bad off-road either. I think they're a good medium, but to be honest, I haven't really tried all these fancy Pirellis and whatever, so I imagine their road holding is a lot better, but you ride what you get used to, don't you? So I'm used to knowing how much grip these have got, and I would say if you were to get one, to not put all these fancy mods on just because the internet tells you to, because I can't stand the look of those big bark buster things on there. And yes, I do go through the trail and get it caught on vines and stuff, but you just have to be careful, and if you feel it snagging up, then you have to stop quickly. That's all there is. But I mean, having guards on it might stop your brake being pulled on or your clutch being pulled in, but it's not really it's still going to put you off balance. Have I got anything interesting to say really? Let me think. Yeah, don't think I have really much to offer that the internet hasn't already told you about it, but really these bikes are so fun. If you don't mind not having the speed and the ability to go long distance, well, you do really, but I don't like long distance rides. But yeah, this has rekindled my ebbing biker mojo, as it were. Yeah, I was getting bored of biking, and I am a bit of a lone rider anyway, so going out on the Ninja, and I wasn't really a speed demon. It was too much of a bike for me, really, even though I had it about 14 years. It wasn't really me, but I did love it, but I treated it as a commuter bike. And this one I treat as a mini off-road adventure bike, which it is capable of. I think the ground clearance isn't there if you keep the stock exhaust, but I love this exhaust when I'm on the byways because it's just so unintimidating to non-bikers and horses and dog walkers, stuff like that. It's just very quiet. I just potter along on idle past them, and that's not intimidating at all, is it? And it looks cute, so they don't really bat an eyelid. But if I had an enduro bike with all off-roady gear on, and I think it looks a bit more menacing, like I'm out there to rip up the place. But when this thing just chugs past you at like 6-7 miles an hour, it's just an interesting thing out on the byway. Anyway, I'm not really offering much to this video. I just wanted to tell you about my 10k milestone. I wish I could wind it back, to be honest, because you know, I want the bike to last forever, but I bought it to ride it, so that's what I'm doing. I mean, some people might think 10k isn't a lot, but to me it's getting on a bit now. I've done a lot of servicing myself now. Well, the 8k service I did myself, which also involves your rocker cover, tappet adjustment, valve clearances, yeah, which was the hardest bit. But YouTube video, there is one out there of how to do it, even though the specs are different to this one. There's the choke cutting in, automatic choke or whatever you call it, on a fuel injected bike. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm about 5'7", and I'd say it's perfect size for me, but maybe my knees are a bit too bent when I sit forward on it. But yeah, if you're thinking about getting one, you better hurry up, because when do they cut off? I think they cut off new 125 petrol engines on motorbikes 2030, I think, and 2035 for bigger bikes. You'll have to double check that, but I'm sure it's the 125s that get phased out 5 years early. So if you're on the market for a 125 and you've been contemplating a monkey, I'd say do it, because I want to keep this bike forever, really. Even if I do go back to bigger bikes again, this is a bike for life, and it ticked 2 of my bucket list things. One being owning a new vehicle, which I've never done before and probably won't ever do again, and also having a yellow or a white vehicle, and yellow ticks that box. And I think people that own yellow vehicles seem to have a bit of character to them. Not many people would be that interested in owning a yellow vehicle. Don't know why, it's a nice colour. It always used to be my favourite colour as a kid, but that's another story. And also, one more little side note is, the year I bought this, that was banana yellow, but now 2025, I don't think it's called banana yellow anymore. It looks similar, but the tank is all silver, there's no white bit there. And also, I think a lot of people didn't like this plaid seat, but I love it. I wish it was red, because the red one looks better actually. And I think the whole red bike does look better than the yellow, but I've always wanted a yellow bike or a yellow car, so I do kind of prefer it, but I do see how the red one looks very cool. Anyway, I'm going to sign off, because I've bored you with 12 minutes. Bye! Yeah, so this is a stock exhaust, and this is me talking while it's revving. Now, if that was aftermarket, I think you wouldn't hear me half of that. I might add this as a second side note. Actually, today on the mud, the back end was slipping about all over the place, but it is getting bald. It's about time I changed it, to be honest. But as I say, that is the stock tyres, the V rubber, and yeah, I think you just have to get used to what you've got, really. And if it gets super slippy on the byways, then you just have to put both feet down and sort of paddle it a bit, or just be ready to put your feet down. But you know, if you've got something super knobbly and super grippy, where's the challenge in that? It's pretty boring, really, if you've got super grip all the time. So V-rubbers are characterful. That's how I'd describe it. I'm not really selling that, am I? But there you go. Second side note is, at the ABR festival, I took it on the TRF trail, and they did warn me against it. They said, do you really want to go? Do you really want to go on there with that? And I said yes. Stupidly, because I did about half of it, and I had to bail out. I just, it was too scary, to be honest. There's some like really steep inclines and really steep descents that, yeah, I did not feel very safe on that. I found a duck out route, but it is hard to find, so you probably, and probably not allowed, to be honest. So once you're on it, you have to stick with it. So yeah, I don't really recommend taking this on the TRF trail if you go to the ABR with V-rubbers. But yeah, with knobblies, Kenda big blocks, something like that, I think you'll be alright. But yeah, I pushed the envelope and lost. Although I didn't, because I didn't come off. But yeah, even the Bridgestone trail has got like a long run up to a massive steep hill, and I attempted that as well and got like 3/4 of the way up, and then had to stop, and luckily my front brake half held it, and the rest of it was my feet digging in the ground as I was sliding backwards. But yeah, I had to do a U-turn at the bottom and then go and take the escape route.